Tiger Woods, biggest story of the week. What was your initial reaction when you heard the news of Tiger's latest DUI crash?
Um, Really just like everybody, not again. I didn't shed a tear like maybe some of the media members that we've seen posting reactions. It's just really hard. I feel for the guy. I really do. I have sympathy for what seems to be him struggling with an addiction to these pain medications and obviously dealing with a lot of pain through all these surgeries. So there's some level of um remorse and just feelings of, hopefully he can get over this and figure it out. But at the same time, I heard someone say in his really great turn phrase, like his right to public privacy and him keeping that kind of ends when he gets behind the wheel of a car and takes to a public road. And it just the kind of just understand that as a responsible human being driving out in the world and being behind a motor vehicle, you can't do that in that state. So I am skeptical he's going to receive a kind of punishment that makes this change, but at the same time, hopefully, at least this kind of galvanizes the people around him to take a step in and maybe him returning to some kind of treatment and or I think what everybody kind of wants him to do is not get behind the wheel at all again. So
So you mentioned some of that, the media response, and prior to this, I wanted to see kind of where did you land on the Tiger fan spectrum? There's those in the American media that worship the man like a deity and think he can walk on water. Even at age
yeah.
50, some people literally still thinking this guy could have showed up to Augusta in a couple weeks and one. But then there's people like me who kind of checked out on Tiger, not just as a player but as a person a long time ago. Where did you fall in that spectrum prior to this?
Yeah, I was kind of there with you, and I think that's probably a bit where my reaction comes as well. It's, just getting into golf a little bit after actually all his discrepancies, and then not really getting to see Tiger, the Goliath. I kind of just understood him to be the player he was, knew the history, appreciated that history, but at the same time, uh, the emotional draw has never really been there for me. And I, as a golf fan, I understand what he's meant to the game, and I appreciate that. But at the same time, there's just been so much since that great run that it's kind of hard to piece. I do this a lot with like politics and musicians and great artists and people I enjoy. On one hand, I can respect their ability and love watching them do what they do because, or listening, whatever, because they're great at that. But when they step off the stage or they're no longer on the golf course, I kind of just have entirely separate feelings towards him. So that's a little where I'm at for that.
Yeah, I can relate. I still love R. Kelly's music, but he's a piece of garbage human being. But it doesn't stop
Yep.
me a few drinks in to jam into bump and grind kind of thing. You know what I mean?